And it's real life that the characters are, like, completely, like, kind of oblivious to everyone being in love.
Well, that's what's so great, and that's what draws so many people to this story, is that, yes, we have vampires and werewolves and warlocks and demons and angels and shadowhunters and all of these things, but ultimately, at their core, these characters are young, and they're growing up, and they're falling in love for the first time, and they're figuring out who they are and who they love and what that means for them in their other relationships, and that's what makes the show so relatable, are those people at their at their core.
All the while fighting demons.
Yeah, like, you know. Creatures. Beings.
That's right.
Entities.
Well,
isn't everyone?
We get to see Jace get he goes to fight this demon or get something from him, right, to put in the potion that Luke needs to save him. Yeah. And that was an interesting scene. I wasn't exactly sure what that thing was.
That's a new kind of demon.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's called a Shax demon. You'll see a lot more of those as the season goes on. Those are the scariest to me because they're very... You didn't really get to see it in this episode, but they're spider-like almost. And they make this noise when they run that's very... It sounds like little metal talons scraping against
No.
Just creeps me out.
Spiders and then like scraping of
spiders and cockroaches. That's just like
it's like Edward Scissorhands spider demon type. I don't know. It's terrifying. I don't know how they come up with this stuff.
It kind of looks like a spider combined with an octopus.
Yeah.
Or a cockroach.
Or a cockroach or something. Something equally
it's
terrifying and slimy. Yeah.
Before we move on to the next scene, I'm a big vampire fan as it is, so I'm just so fascinated with what Simon's going through. But when Jace leaves him outside to, go deal with what he has to inside, Simon sees Camille, and then he sees his dead body.
Yeah.
That was weird. Like, that was crazy. I was wondering, okay, did Camille shape-shift
jump to commercial?
Simon and lay down to create the effect, or was he just mentally going crazy? But obviously Camille has something that she can do to project his body there. But it was so weird. I was like, oh, this is creepy.
I mean, Camille clearly has a hold over him.
Yeah.
So. Oh yeah. He keeps seeing her everywhere.
And he keeps getting drawn to her. You can see, instead of being oh my gosh, Camille, he was running towards her, and I'm like, whoa. I get that they had a moment, but I mean, it was kind of a drugged moment because
it was a creepy moment.
It was very creepy. But yeah,
he always seems very
girl
excited.
has a hold on him for sure.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, Caitlin Lieb, who plays Camille, is one of the sweetest, most genuine human beings I've ever met in my life, and yet she plays this vile, horrible, conniving vampire, and I think it's the greatest thing.
Acting everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone.
It's a real testament.
So we get back to Clary and Magnus and Luke, and we're still trying to help save him, and everyone's getting a couple things they need for this potion, and time is running out.
Yeah.
But we get to see a lot of flashbacks this episode.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of flashbacks, and we basically got so much information this episode that we needed and that Clary needed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Clary, it's the first moment she's had to kind of breathe and not be running or almost dying or fighting for her life or for someone else's life, even though they're still kind of fighting for Luke's, but there's not much they can do until Jace and Simon get back. And I think it all kind of comes crashing down on her that I don't know what I'm doing. I thought I was going to be in art school. I thought my life was set. I thought I knew where I was going, and then everything changed. So she needs some reassurance, and she needs some support. And there's, our lovely Magnus Bane to give her a little pep talk and fill her in on everything she's missed.
Well, what I really enjoyed about the flashbacks is that we got several of them, and they were of the same story kind of, but a different point of view.
So important.
I feel like they could totally make a whole other series about what happened before, because it was really weird. It was we were looking in at a different show, because it was all these people had a different life back then, and they're new characters. Some most of the same, but as a younger character. And it was just so crazy to see what happened before the story that we all know and love.
Right. Well, there's so much going on. The Shadow World, there's so many relationships and so many convoluted stereotypes and things that are already established when our story begins. And in the book, several chapters are actually dedicated just to these flashbacks, just so people understand how the world is set up and sort of the story that's happening behind the scenes. But something that I find very interesting about our show is that we have those parallels, that there's a sort of a generational gap that's happening, that you see a lot of this episode between the Lightwood parents and the new Lightwoods and Clary and her mother and Luke, and there are all of these sort of established preconceived notions and stereotypes and old ways of doing things. You know, the law is hard, but it's the law. That's the Shadowhunters' creed, basically. Other than the descent into hell is easy, but that's another thing. And you know, that's sort of. It sort of parallels our own society, because the younger generations are more open and are more willing to see things in a different way, and so are the younger Shadowhunters. So they're finding ways to solve old problems with new solutions, just because they have a different point of view.
Also, the actress who played younger Jocelyn was great casting.
She's great, right?
I was like, okay, now I see like the resemblance.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to like meet any of them or like talk to them?
We did, because we would always have a day where we crossed over in the episodes or had reshoot days, and we had one soundstage that had a bunch of little set vignettes in it. So a lot of the scenes that were more intimate and smaller took place on that stage. So I would see them crossing when we had more than one unit shooting at once. I'd see them at lunch. I'd see them walking back and forth on set, and I'd go, "Wait a minute, are you my mother?" You know, things like that. Wait, you're my father. Right, got it. You're my father, but like we're the same age right now. Okay.
So weird.
Okay. No, but they were great, and they were so much fun, and you know, everybody became a part of the family, which is nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I loved it, and I love that we kind of, because I've been waiting for this to happen, to see Valentine, I don't want to say be humanized, but to at the end of the day, it's still not right what he did, but you understand his thought process as to why he became what he became.
Well, it's very difficult, or it's very rare, but not impossible. For those of you who read the books, it's not impossible, but it's very rare for someone to be born purely evil. And so there had to be a tipping point where Valentine turned to the dark side, if you will, to make another Disney family reference. But you know, and that explains it. And like you said, it humanizes him.
Well, there was something I actually wanted to ask you at the beginning that I didn't like. At the beginning of the episode, when Luke is dreaming / hallucinating and seeing Jocelyn, because Clary is communicating with Jocelyn mentally through her necklace,
which we call the FaceTime necklace.
Yes, the FaceTime necklace. Yeah,
I want one.
Yeah.
Hey, Ma, what's up?
How are you?
Still in a coma? Okay, is Dad still being mean? Okay, bye.
Someone's gonna create this.
That's so great.
I'm down.
Yeah, seriously.
But that scene though, where Luke is connecting with Jocelyn, is he hallucinating because he's dying, or is he actually connecting with her, kind of in the way Clary did?
I mean, that's something we kind of left open to interpretation and tried to make it either way. Isaiah would be able to speak to this more than I can, but from what I gathered from the conversation was that they did want to leave it open, but they wanted it to be possible that, you know, maybe he was hallucinating and finally coming to the realization, but maybe the state that Jocelyn's in, she's still able to reach those to which she's most connected, and that's Luke and Clary and maybe Magnus. We don't know.
Ooh. See, that's what we were talking about like a little before. Yeah. And we're like, I don't know. We all had different opinions.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to be that he was connecting.
I think that's what they were leaning toward, but they still wanted to leave it open to interpretation.
Yeah, because I mean, he's obviously like in the process of dying right now, so I mean, he could be like, you know, hallucinating and like everything like that. But I mean, I was hoping I was like, I hope they're connecting in mentally some way. Right.
Well, I mean, they're both kind of in a state of spiritual and mental fluctuation, and there could be a way that they would meet in the middle somewhere on some otherworldly plane and be able to communicate for a moment.
That's what I was thinking, and I think that would be fun, and it's a cool tool to use, just like your necklace was such a cool tool to use, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Lightwood family.
Yes.
Okay, I love the Lightwood family. And they're so fun.
Little Max, oh my god! Yes. I was like, oh my god, he's so cute.
Which I thought was funny because he didn't really look like the rest of the family.
No, I was like, how did this happen?
Lighter head boy.
So cute.
It doesn't matter, he's adorable. Yeah. That's the whole point.
I'm like, how did this happen? Okay, never mind, he's cute.
It doesn't matter. He's adorable.
I love the brotherly bond between him and Alec. I thought that was really cool.
And him and Izzy.
Well, yeah, that too.
But when she was helping him study the different...
Yeah.
That was really cute.
What I think was so funny, so we were talking, you know, Clary is going through all of this now that Shadowhunters have gone through when they were like Max's age,
yeah.
And she messed up a ruin, was last episode, and he talks about messing up a ruin, and I was like, she's literally, you know, kind of mentally, as far as being a Shadowhunter, she's growing fast, but it's only been a couple, not even probably a week thus far, and she's probably going through some of the same struggles that Max has.
Well, that's the thing, is Valentine and Jocelyn are two of the most skilled and most pure-blooded Shadowhunters that have ever existed. So Clary has good genes in that sense, as far as having a lot of Shadowhunter instincts and being able to learn quickly. But still, that's why she makes so many mistakes, and that's why she kind of doesn't always make the right decision, because she just doesn't know, and she's trying to learn.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so crazy, like you think as someone who might just become a Shadowhunter, you have time to adapt and everything, but no, you're having to make these life-changing decisions without even having any experience in that field.
Right,
it's
and
crazy.
not all of her decisions, not the consequences of all her decisions will not always end up on her. Sometimes they'll end up on others, and that comes into play in the next few episodes in a big way.
Well, sometimes that's even more painful than having a consequence be brought on yourself.
It is.
As opposed to somebody that you love.
It is. Well, and that's the thing. this episode was the first time Clary said thank you to any of them for anything. And number one, because there wasn't time, and number two, she just had a chance. It all kind of hit her, and she realized, wait a minute, all of these people that I've just met have been risking their lives for me. Yeah. And the lives of all the people that they love. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know?
Constantly.
I was like, yes.
And within the next couple episodes, she'll have to learn to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ooh.